What's going on, everybody? This is Joseph from Nerds and Matrimony. Welcome back to Let's Play Shadow of the Colossus. So, in the last episode, we took out Argus, Colossus number 15, and it was a long fight, and I cut a lot out of that episode because otherwise it was going to be a lot longer than what it was. So, we are going after the final Colossus in this video. We have finally made it to the very last one. So to get to this one, you're actually going to go kind of the way you went to the first Colossus, but instead of going to where the first Colossus is, when you get up to this wall here, you're going to take a left. And then you're going to eventually come to a fork in the road, you're going to want to take a right, and that'll take you out to the area that you need to go. So, yes, we are finally here. It's been a long time coming. I think I started this Let's Play back in June, actually, and it is now almost the end of November, so, yeah. I was planning on finishing this in July, and then, yeah. Anyways, I'll talk more about that when we get to the end game, and then get to the credits, because, yes, for those of you who are looking at this video and you're looking at how long it is, the reason this particular episode is so long is not because of the Colossus fight itself, because this Colossus fight actually doesn't take a whole lot of time. I mean, when you compare it to other fights in the game, it's really not a long fight. But the reason this episode is very long is because it includes the end of the game. So this is not just the last Colossus, this is the last Colossus / end of the game / credits. And the end game cutscene, it takes a long time to get through. So yeah, we're going to be seeing that. I'm going to be commentating over certain parts of it. I'm mainly going to stay quiet for most of it, just because it's pretty emotional, and it kind of brings the big climax of everything that's happening in the game. It kind of all comes together. So yeah. So anyways, we're out here in this big plain area, and you actually want to go off to the left here. You want to go to the left and then hang a right. You can see over there that little area between the two mountains. That's actually where we need to go. There's actually a giant door over there we need to go through. So yeah, we actually need to go off to the left here. We need to go to the right. Go down the hill and then take a left, and then you can go over to where the door is. So yeah. So anyways, yeah, this game is coming to an end. This is the final parts. This is it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the ride. I know I have. And yeah, this is another Let's Play coming to a close. So, but again, we still have one more Colossus to defeat, so let's go do that. And yeah, like I said, these last two Colossi are definitely the most intimidating looking ones in the game. If you thought Argus looked scary, wait until you see this guy. Not to mention the fact that you're going to see this guy is insanely fast when it comes to attacking you. It's kind of ridiculous. So anyways, you want to go, again, like I said, you're going to want to go over between these two mountains, and there's going to be a door here with a light shining through it on a platform. You cannot go through this door until you have defeated the other 15 Colossi. Basically what you want to do is you want to stand in the middle of the platform and then shine the light of your sword through the little hole in the door, and that will open it up. So this will not work until you've defeated all the other Colossi in the game. So yeah. Anyways, once you do this, then a new path will be revealed to you, and you will be able to continue forward. Alright. And yes, you can take aggro with you through here. So, you gotta wonder about aggro. Like, aggro's been through a lot with you in this journey, and like, you gotta wonder, like, how has he survived all this? Like, I mean, like in the fight with Bossron, he literally took a shot right on the chin and just got up and walked it off. So, Aggro is quite the companion. Quite the companion indeed. And it's kind of interesting, you know, I mean, he's literally the only companion you've had on this journey so far, and, you know, it's like, you gotta imagine the bond that him and Wonder have together, you know, they've gotta be pretty close. So, uh-oh, what's happening? What's happening? Yep, that's right. Aggro just died. I know. It's sad. It's pretty heavy. I mean, you gotta think about it. Wander has essentially just lost everything now. He's got nothing left. And he still has to go kill this final Colossus. I mean, it's got to be done. But I mean, just think about this journey and what it's cost him. I mean, he's literally lost everything now. The only companion he's had this entire time is gone. So, yeah. Whew. That just got emotional. Yeah, the first time that I played this game and that happened, I had to pause because I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no, they can't take Aggro from you. Like, he's your friend. He's your pal. Like, no. I was just in such shock. Like, I probably paused the game and just sat there for several minutes, just in complete shock. It's like, I mean, it's just so powerful. Like, they build up this bond, you know, between you and Aggro throughout the game because there's literally no one else here in this land. Like, you're alone. Like, it's just you and your horse. And so throughout the game, they build up this bond with you and Aggro, and then they just kill him. So cruel. So cruel. I know people who have cried. I've met people who said they actually cried when they saw that, when that happened. So, yeah, Aggro's dead. You can only imagine how Wonder's feeling right now. All the emotions that are going through his head. All the confliction. But we still have to fight a Colossus. So let's go do it. So as you can see, we just want to climb up to the top of the structure. Once you get up here, you're going to hear there's a storm brewing, and yeah, this is where the Colossus is. Now thank goodness this Colossus cannot move. This Colossus is actually so big he is completely immobile. He cannot move and walk around, and when you see him, you're going to be very glad that he cannot do that. Alright, say hello to MALUS, the Grand Giga. Believe it or not, he's actually not the tallest Colossus. Yes, I know. It looks like he is, but Phalanx is actually taller than he is. But he is probably the most deadly because he shoots insanely fast and his bolts do a lot of damage. he actually almost kills me at one point here in this fight. So basically what you want to do is, like I said, this guy cannot move. The goal here is to actually get behind him. So to do that, you're gonna want to navigate through all of these little tunnels here. And you're going to want to use these barriers that are placed throughout this area to keep yourself from getting hits. And believe me, you're going to have to move insanely fast. You may actually have to use the rolling move that Wonder can do. I know I haven't used it a lot throughout the game, but if you push R1 and triangle at the same time, triangle is your jump button. You push R1 and triangle at the same time, and Wonder will actually roll on the ground, and he'll move a bit faster. So basically what you want to do here is just wait for a gap in between his shots and then run like crazy to the next barrier before you get shots. Because believe me, if you take one of these in the face, if it doesn't kill you, it will very nearly kill you. It is ridiculous how powerful they are. Alright, so we want to get in this hole right here. And we're going to work our way up to getting closer to him. So yeah. He's going to try to shoot you while you're under here, but he can't hit you, so don't worry. And I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite fights in the game, just because of the atmosphere, the storm. I mean, the fact that you just essentially lost your only friend, you know, it just kind of adds to the whole emotional weight of this fight. Not to mention the soundtrack. I haven't really talked about the soundtrack of this game, but I think the soundtrack of this game is amazing. So, I think they did an incredible job with the soundtrack of this game. Alright, so we're going to go over here. There's a little tunnel over here we're going to go through. And we're going to come out, and we're going to be that much closer to him. Now, I actually had a little bit of trouble here trying to get through this part. Because the barriers here are kind of spread out more. So you've got to cover more ground, and yeah, it can be kind of difficult because, like I said, you've got to move really fast because this guy shoots incredibly quickly, as you have seen already. Yeah, just be careful here. So we want to go through these barriers right here. There's another hole we can drop down to the end of this path, and we're gonna want to go that way, and that's actually going to take us to where we need to be. So I actually end up getting shot right here. Well, I didn't get shot, but it hit the ground right in front of me and knocked me back. So as you can see, I didn't even take the brunt of that shot, and look at how much damage it did to me. It's ridiculous. So here I was like, okay, I was testing out the rolling move. I was like, I gotta remind myself how to do that, because I'm definitely gonna have to use that here. So yeah, whatever you do, do not get hit by one of those directly, because it's gonna hurt. Okay, so I made it to the second one, and I almost make it to the third one, but then I get shot. I was almost there, I was so close, but I wasn't quite behind it, and he shot me. By the way, don't get too far back here on this ledge, because he can shoot you there too. So at this point, I just decided, okay, let's wait down here and crouch. Let's let our health recharge a little bit, because we're almost dead. The good thing is this guy only has one weak spot. The bad thing is it's on top of his head. So getting to this Colossus is really kind of the bulk of this fight. So yeah, that's really the main part of this fight, is just getting to the top of him. Once you get to his head, it's really not that bad. He's going to shake around a little bit, but he doesn't shake near as bad as Argus does. So once you get on top of his head, it's actually pretty easy. Just the hard part is actually getting on top of his head. Alright, so my health is almost fully recharged. A little bit more. And believe me, you're going to want your health to be fully recharged. Because like I said, if you take one of those bolts right to the face, it can almost kill you in one hit. It's kind of ridiculous. So make sure that you have taken advantage of a couple of fruit trees before you come to this fight, because you're going to want to need all the extra health you can get. So make sure you've been looking out for those fruit trees throughout your adventure. Now, I thought this tunnel could go around to where we need to go, but it actually doesn't. I was like, I wonder if I can go this way, and then I'm like, no. Ah, crap. Do I have to? I don't want to. Alright, I believe I make it this time. So you can actually kind of provoke him into shooting you if you just like barely step out and into the open and then run back real quick. Well, not like that, but when I get back up there, I'll show you how to do it. Basically, you step out a little bit and then immediately run back to the barrier, and he'll shoot, and then as soon as the shot hits the ground, you just want to run, and you should have enough time between shots to get to the next barrier. So that's really kind of the key to doing this. Provoke him to shooting once, and then as he's charging up his next shot, then you want to run. But yeah, could you imagine how much harder this would be if this guy could actually walk around? That would suck. That would really suck. So thank goodness he cannot. He's just stuck there. So here I'm looking up at him like, are you gonna put your hand down? Can you let me go? No? Oh, okay. Never mind. Alright, let's do this. Come on, Wonder. You can do it. Pull out your inner Usain Bolt. Run. Run really fast. Alright, so to provoke him, let him shoot. I'm going to try it again because I didn't really time it very well. Alright, let him shoot, and then go, run! Oh my gosh! Okay, so I have no idea how I did it, but somehow I managed to hang on to the ledge right here. I don't know how his shots are not doing damage to me, but I'm not going to complain. I freaking made it. So now he's going to barrage me like crazy here, so I'm just going to wait until he stops and then jump into the hole. Any second now. Yeah, he can turn, but he can't actually walk. Alright. Yo! Yeah, I made it! Alright, so we're going to follow this path, and we're actually going to emerge underneath him. See? Alright, so we're actually now underneath him. So you want to just climb up his little skirt right here. And basically now this turns into like a platforming puzzle, because you want to get to the top of him. So there are a bunch of ledges you can grab onto. The goal here right now is we want to get up to the front of his... we want to actually get to his back. There's a spot on his back that is revealed, and it has a trigger point on it. And we're going to want to stab that trigger point. When we do that, he'll reach back with his hand. Then we're going to want to jump on his hand, and that'll bring us... He will bring us out to the front of him, as you're going to see when we get there. But yeah, climbing this guy can take some time because, as you've clearly seen, he's kind of big. He's really, really tall. So yeah. So if you just wander around long enough, you'll figure out how to get up to where you need to go, because there's a clear path that you need to follow. They make it pretty obvious as to where you need to go. Alright, so we're almost there. So I just start running around the skirt here like an idiot. I'm like, okay, is there like a part that's different from the others? But they're all pretty much the same. So you just want to climb up one of these little pillars right here, and just use it to get up to where you need to go. So you can actually walk on this little part of his skirt right here. You can actually walk on this part. So you're going to want to walk around, and eventually you'll come to an opening. There's his stomach right there. Yes, that's his stomach. We're like halfway up his body. It's ridiculous how big this guy is. Alright, so we're going to want to get up here onto this part. I guess you could call it this his waistline. You're going to want to run to his back, so there's the trigger point. So you're going to want to stab that, and he's going to bring his hand back here. Alright, so you're going to want to jump over to his hand. Not while he's pulling it away. That was a bad idea. I was lucky I only fell a short distance there. If you fall all the way off this guy, there's a good chance you're probably going to die, because you are incredibly high. So, like, when you get to the top of his head, if he shakes you off and you fall, you're as good as dead. Alright, so when he brings you up to the front, you want to get up to the top of his hand and you want to stab it. Just a little short stab, and it'll get him to straighten his arm out. And now you actually want to shoot his, well, I say that, no. You want to climb over here to this part of his arm, get up to his bicep. There's another trigger point right here that you want to stab. This will bring his other hand over. So now you want to jump to his other hand, and I think his hands look really cool. I don't know, the design on them look really cool, the whites and the black, and then his fingers. They just look really cool. Alright, so same thing with this guy. You want to stab his hand, get it to straighten out, get up to the top of it. So once you get to the top of it, he will flatten his arm out. Well, once you prick him a little bit, he'll flatten his arm out. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to stand on his hand. He's just going to look at you. Don't worry, he won't do anything to you. But you just want to stand here, and you want to actually shoot his shoulder with an arrow. And when you do that, he will actually bring his hand over to it. So I imagine for first-time players, this probably take a while to figure out. But yeah, you can shoot his shoulder, and then he'll bring his hand over to your shoulder. Make sure as soon as you shoot your arrow that you grab his hand, because otherwise you're going to fall off. Alright, so once you get up here, now you can actually use this to get up onto his head. And he started shaking prematurely here, the meanie. I wasn't even on his head and he started shaking. Alright, so once you get on top of his head, like I said, this is the only weak spot he has. If you start running out of stamina, you can just come back and stand back here on his neck or on his shoulders and just recharge your stamina back here. So, like I said, once you get up here, the fight's not bad. It's just getting up here is the challenge. So he's going to shake around, not near as much as Argus did, because like I said, this guy's movement is kind of restricted. And I actually found the sweet spot on this glyph right here, because as you can see, he's moving around, but I'm actually not moving at all. So I got incredibly lucky here and found the sweet spots on this glyph, so I can take him out pretty quickly. So it is time to end our journey, our adventure at long last. The ritual is about to be complete, and we're about to see our girlfriend come back to life. We did it! We beat the game! Hooray! Down goes the Grand Giga. Love how he doesn't even fall. His body just becomes lifeless. Alright, no point in escaping this one. Let's just sit here and take it. That is the last time I'm going to be doing that. Cutscene!
Rani.
So now we finally get to see how Wonder always made it back to the Shrine of Worship after each fight. Dorman essentially teleports him back. So this is what happens.
I'm not screwed adverb. But home formulas ilicum adop.
You want the Erarzen, all of Ulumka. You Kumaku Aik is in Edom the cake Ludu. No sus if captain. Was I not Ziku? It was a You want to lie, Ludo? Look at the law in your own. You must almost read. Aki. Oh, this I don't icon cornical. All is your catu. Il reserve no cataiudo. 行くかオルダー。Laki-laki ayam, yang kerak alat gitu itu. Ha.
Alright, so the tables have turned. We actually get to see what it's like to be a Colossus. So we have basically transformed into Dorman. So yeah, just to kind of explain everything that's just happened. Plot twist, Dorman was using us the whole time. Har har, I totally didn't see that coming. Did you guys? Not at all. Not at all. So basically, I'm not sure if Dorman's really supposed to be like the devil or something. I mean, I know he's supposed to be this being that can control the souls of the dead. So obviously he's evil. But as you're going to see, he's actually not entirely evil. He does seem to have somewhat of a good nature in him. But I guess he's kind of one of those like power-hungry gods who just wants to control everything and rule everything and whatever. But yes, so you can attack the soldiers here. You can push square to attack them. You can move around. But basically, you're not really doing anything. Except just all you're doing really is just hampering their progress. So basically, once they get to the exit, another cutscene's going to trigger. But yeah, so all that stuff that we were absorbing from all the Colossi, the shadow of the Colossi, I should say, was essentially pieces of Dorman's soul. Now, those were essentially parts of Dorman's spirits, and they were absorbed into us. So Dorman basically used us to resurrect himself, essentially. So yeah.
Amminata! Ha! You call this?
Alright, so Lord Emon has cast a seal to seal away Dorman for good this time. You can try to fight against it, but you're not going to get very far, so I actually just decided to go ahead and speed the process up here and just run straight into it. Bye, Wonder. It was nice knowing you. now the giant bridge starts to collapse. Now you want to know the crazy thing about this? Here's what's crazy about this whole thing. Even after all that, even after everything that just happened and everything that Wander went through, basically selling his soul over to Dorman and essentially destroying himself and dying, even after all that, Dorman actually still fulfills his promise and revives the girl. Yep. So remember when Dorman said in episode 1 that the price Wander pays may be heavy indeed? Yeah. Dorman said he would revive her, but the price Wander paid may be heavy indeed. And even after all that, Dorman still fulfilled his promise and revived her. But the price Wander paid was incredibly heavy. Wander essentially had to trade his life over to bring her back. So even though she's back, it's kind of bittersweet because Wander is gone, essentially. So, yeah. A lot of people, you know, like I said, I think this is one of the best games ever made, and I think the ending really sells it a lot because, I mean, look at everything we've gone through in this game, and you kind of get, you know, the ending is something that you really, like the ending of this game, it's like, okay, great, she's back to life, but I'm not here anymore, so it's like, you kind of don't really get what you think you deserve. But wait a second. Oh my gosh! He's not dead! That's right, folks. Aggro is actually not dead. The invincible horse, as I've come to call him, is still alive. He just has a broken leg. Which makes it even more sad because, I mean, that's our pal. That's our buddy. And his master is gone. It's so sad. It's like, it's a happy ending, but it's a sad ending. It's, again, like, you don't really feel like you've gotten what you deserved. And I think that's really powerful. Like, the way they deliver it's really powerful. So, yeah. Alright, so now the credits are going to roll, and it's going to show all the corpses of all the dead Colossi. And, there's actually going to be another cutscene, and then some more credits are going to roll. And I will talk about my opinions on the game and my next Let's Plays during that time. But yes, here are all the Colossi we fight. So we've saw Valus and Quadratus. That was Gaius right there. Here's Phaedra, the horse, in the graveyard. You see all the beams of light in the background. It's pretty cool. Here's Avion, the Phoenix, the best fight in the game. There's Barbas, the Goliath. Santa Claus, as I like to call him. There's Hydrus, the Leviathan, in the lake. That was the last episode I recorded in July. There's Koromoy, the Wall Shadow, the lizard. That was in the Colosseum type building. There's Bossaron, the giant turtle. Dirge, the sand tiger. The one who burrows under the ground, you gotta shoot him in the eyes. You guys remember that fight. Celosia, the flame guardian. I love how they do this. They go through and show you everything that you've done in the game, just to remind you of everything you went through to get to this point, and you still end up dying. So there's Pelagia. Just kind of makes it even more, you know, emotional. There's Phalanx, the coolest looking Colossus in the game, and the tallest one. There's Zenobia, the Destruction Luster in the city. There's Argus, the one that everybody hates. Because the fight takes forever. And then the last one, the one we just fought, MALUS, the Grand Giga. Lord Iman and his bodyguards are escaping as the bridge collapses. One can assume that Lord Iman put a spell on the bridge to have it collapse. So now no one can come back to this place ever again. Unless they somehow conjure up a spell that repairs the bridge.
Giga uolaid, or the you la kaya, ola no kildo. Izo, yuri zo. Yukizo edihiko erikiku aloa to kair. Anli kong ayudikanga yuke.
Alright, so now these are the real end credits. So as you're going to see here, I'm just going to explain what's about to happen. Agro and this girl here are going to go into the place where the water is, and they're actually going to find a little baby in the pond. And this particular baby has horns. Now one may assume this may be like Wonder being reborn, and it probably is, but yeah, so they're going to find this baby and take it up to the top of the shrine of worship in this little garden area full of animals and plants and all kinds of life. And one can assume that they essentially raised this baby. And this is basically where the story of the game Ico shows up. Ico is actually the sequel to Shadow of the Colossus, but Ico actually came out first. Ico was released first, and then this game came out after it. Just kind of explaining the backstory to Ico and how, basically how all of it happened. Because the whole story of Ico is all these babies are born with horns and they're basically cursed, and so they're sealed away. But then Ico ends up escaping and goes on this adventure. And yeah, so this is basically how that whole chain reaction started, was because of the events in this game. So yeah, I may do a playthrough of Ico at some point. I don't know. I actually have not played the game myself. I know, it's blasphemy. I may eventually play it one day, and, you know, if I like it, which I probably will like it, you know, I'll probably do a Let's Play of it. Just because, I mean, this is one of my favorite games of all time. So, you know. Anyways, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Shadow of the Colossus. Fantastic, wonderful masterpiece of a game. Seriously, this is without question one of the best games ever created. G4 actually in 2014 did a series of the top 100 video games of all time. This one was in the top 15. Yeah. So, yeah. This game is absolutely amazing in every way possible. If you haven't played it, you need to go get it, and you need to play it, because you're going to have the time of your life playing this game. It is so much fun fighting the Colossi. It's so much fun riding around Agro and just exploring the vast landscape and enjoying the environments, and the whole kind of dark emotional undertone of the game just really adds to it a lot. Not to mention, again, the soundtrack is wonderful. So yeah, this is an amazing game, and I would highly recommend it to everybody. If you have not played this, you're missing out. I mean, you are really missing out. If you call yourself a gamer, you need to play this game if you haven't, because it's going to change your life. Like, seriously, this is a game that will change your life. So yeah. Anyways, I have enjoyed coming back and playing this game immensely. I do apologize for the long haul on this one. I had every intention of finishing this game in July, but then, as I said, you know, stuff happened, life happened. I got a job, we had to find a place to live, we had to pack, we had to move. Football season started, cross country started, everything like that. So yeah. Anyways, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, and be on the lookout for my next project, because I'm actually going to be starting the Legend of Zelda series. Yes, I've been teasing at that, but I'm actually going to be doing the Legend of Zelda series, my favorite video game series of all time, after this. I'm only going to be doing the 3D titles, so we're going to be starting off first with the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So stay tuned for episode 1 of that. It has been such a pleasure bringing this game to you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope I've convinced some of you guys to play it if you haven't. And I hope you had just as much fun watching it as I did playing it again. So I will see you in episode 1 of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Hopefully, if you decide to watch it. This is Joseph from Nerds and Matrimony saying thank you guys for watching this Let's Play. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. So I am now signing out. Goodbye.